Good evening and welcome to the Village Board meeting for the Village of Pleasantville. Today is Monday, November 28. If you're watching live on Monday, November 28, we encourage you to call in if you have comments or questions. Our call-in number is 769-1677. Our next regular meeting is 2 weeks from today on Monday, December 12 at 8 p.m. with a work session at 7. Since we have a captive audience here, all of you no doubt here for the local law public hearing on Chapter 17365. I will make one announcement, and I'll save the rest of the announcements for after we have gone through our youth recognition, and that is this Wednesday at 7 p.m. at the intersection of Edgewood and Manville is the community sing-along and lighting ceremony. So the quid pro quo of honoring you tonight is that you appear with your friends at 7 o'clock Wednesday night. It's a happy night. Every year in November, we invite the youth of Pleasantville to come and be recognized for the service they provide to a myriad of organizations and serving a myriad purposes. And it is a pleasure to have all of you here tonight. I know there are lots of people who can't come tonight, but we will go through each organization one by one and invite each recipient of an award to come on up. And if there is a representative, either an adult or a student, who would like to comment about the activities of the group and the activities this year, we'll start out with that for each one. So let me transition to the podium. So when folks come up, we invite you to get your certificate, and then why don't you circle around the back and be greeted by the board. Steve Lord will deposit in your hands a limited edition Pleasantville backpack. As is the case every year, a whole bunch of recipients are called out in multiple groups because folks who do good works often do them in multiple settings. So multiple certificates, but only one of our limited edition bags, please. So the first group to be recognized tonight is the Pleasantville Farmers Market. And I know Steve Bates is here somewhere. I saw his bow tie.
There he is.
I invite you to come on up, along with Peter Rogovan and Stuart Vance, to chat about the volunteer support for the farm market.
Hi, I'm Peter Rogovan. I'm the president of Foodchester, which runs the farmers market. And before I turn it over to Steve, I just want to say that about 5.5 years ago, I called Mary Fox Alter and said, we want to start an intern program, and we need our first intern. Can you find someone for us? And she said, yes, I have someone in mind. And the next Saturday, this guy shows up, and he said, hi, I'm your new intern. I'm Michael Alter, Mary's son. And he did a great job. He was our first intern. He was fantastic. He wrote his college essays about the work he did in the market, and he went on to school, and he just graduated. Fast forward 5 years, we now have 21 high school and college interns in the market, and they won't all be recognized tonight because some of them are in college and some come to us from Chappaqua and other towns, but we're going to recognize the Pleasantville interns tonight. And I just want to say that our market would not function without the hard work of our interns. And we just completed our annual survey, and people write in and always talk about what a friendly market it is and all the smiling faces. And I know it's in large part because our interns basically help Steve and the other board members keep it running. So I'll turn it over to Steve, and I become Vanna, right?
Yep.
All right.
You're starting another one there when you get the cue.
All right.
Thank you, Peter. Good evening. Mayor, Board of Trustees, thank you for providing time for this tonight. I am glad to see so many adults in attendance this evening, as I am pretty concerned about some information that has been brought to my attention, and I feel obligated to inform you, and thus I have prepared the following. While we are acknowledging the volunteer accomplishments of Pleasantville youth tonight, and that is very much deserved by these great kids, I ask the adults and the community organizers in this room this question. Have we considered the broader implications of what is happening here? Speaking on behalf of the market, whereas we felt our intern program was simply helping children to develop or excel at the following skills. We have since learned that our interns are departing our community as graduates using these accrued skills, and that they are immediately being identified as operatives in a positive mission to change the world. Or at least Columbus, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and similar regions. Consider, if we continue to encourage children in Pleasantville to move through the following flowchart of development, helping others, taking responsibility, identifying problems and solving them really well, we will soon see an extraordinary increase in smart, caring young adults telling other adults in the room what to do. We're more than a little concerned that the market itself may be helping to foment this revolution. Early analysis on board 3 indicates the following factors may be at play. Giving high school students opportunities to run things on their own. And the following information was confiscated, indicating our children have adopted a new and remarkable food pyramid consisting of the following: falafel, herbal iced teas, perfect pesto, Belgian waffles, and strong opinions about farm eggs, butter, apple varieties, and mescaline. I can currently report that interns that graduated from the market this summer are already operating on campuses at Ohio State and the University of Pittsburgh. I have no doubt that our representatives will be contacted by adults from those academic communities asking, hey, what is the big deal? Just what are you doing over there, Pleasantville? If things progress further, it is likely that adults everywhere can expect to be replaced soon by a never-ending stream of impressive young adults. I ask, is this what we want?
Yes.
I'll continue to look into the situation and advise the Board of Trustees. At the present time, right now, I see no option but to report the following Pleasantville High School Farmers Market interns for honorable mention by our village and the Board of Food Chester Incorporated. Would the following young adults please come up as you are identified? Bianca Balducci. Ben Baileys. Annabelle Bresnahan. Grace Cusack. Patrick O'Mara. Nicole Osinoff, Julia Sarit, Catherine Stargiati, Lily Vance, Michael Wang, and Phil Yahia. Thank you for your time, and I hope you feel well informed.
get an awesome
Give you that on a
Steve,
short clip.
you want to take those for your other ones?
Yes, I think SNL would like that clip. Great job, Steve.
So the rest of you can simply refer to Steve's AV presentation because it probably applies to just about everybody except maybe the falafel part. The folks from the Pleasantville High School Student Visions Group are annually involved in activities. It's a group involved with the Chamber of Commerce. Does anyone, a student or an adult, want to speak about it?
Yeah, we have a student who's going to speak.
Come on up.
So I'll be speaking about the Visions Community Service Club, and this is a club focused on volunteer projects chosen and carried out by the students themselves. We strive to complete 3 levels of community service: local, national, and international. National and international service is done mainly through fundraising. So if you've ever seen a kid walking around with a fish in a bag at Pleasantville Day, you can bet that fish came from our booth, the Visions booth. And in the past, all the proceeds all go to charity, and in the past we've donated to Smile Train and Guiding Eyes and many more organizations. And on the local level, we focus on service within the community. So each year we serve hot chocolate at the Pleasantville tree and menorah lighting ceremony.
That would be Wednesday, 7 o'clock.
Yeah. And last year we actually started a new project called the Activity Kit Project with donations made by students in the high school and coloring books made by the Art National Honor Society. We assembled over 100 activity kits to send to patients at Maria Ferrari Children's Hospital. So it displayed what our club was all about because it showed that we could basically join forces with the other clubs at the high school to maximize the impact on the community. And this year we plan to continue with these projects and begin new ones with this year's new charismatic members, and then my dedicated fellow officers, our Vice President Husnat Malik, our Treasurer Nicholas Puglisi, and our Secretary Sarah Wynot. And assistance from our club advisor, Mrs. Puglisi, and chamber member, Tony Emerson. She's here. Visions is basically more equipped than ever to make a significant impact on the community.
A shout out, can't often enough shout out to Tony Emerson, who's been involved in this right from day one. And has been the engine behind a lot of it. So congratulations, Tony Emerson. So we're pleased to honor Divya Ramakrishnan. Husnat Malik. Thank you. Nick Puglisi. Sarah Wynot. Rosa Hahn. Sophia Tomei. Did I get that right, Tomei? Am I good? And Amanda Santos. Now would be an appropriate time to say to every one of you, if we have spelled your name wrong, do not suffer in silence. Tell Judy on the way around and we will fix it. I think we've done pretty well. But, our next honoree is from the Pleasantville Volunteer Ambulance Corps. Is there anyone here who would like to speak to that? In which case, all right.
An officer is supposed to be here, but we got kind of tied up at a call. Pleasantville Ambulance, or PVAC, is all about helping people on like their worst day, or like helping out when they need us most. So we cover all throughout Pleasantville. We do a ton of calls, about over 1,000 a year, sometimes up to 1,500 depending. So it's all about kind of working together and kind of helping out the community in what I could think is the best way possible when they need us most. When somebody calls 911, they seem to need people, so it's nice to kind of go out there and really help everyone as much as they can.
Thank you, Brendan Casey, for your service. I can't imagine a more reassuring face to find in a moment of need, so thank you for the service. We're honoring Gregory May from the Pleasantville Volunteer Fire Department. Are you here, Gregory? Not here tonight. Applause in absentia. Worth noting, as I think we all know, that the folks at the Pleasantville Volunteer Fire Department, just like the Volunteer Ambulance Corps, are incredibly dedicated bunch of people. And Gregory May has been a member for the past 2 years, involved not only in training but responding to calls. So an impressive effort, and one that is a service modeling for all of us. We have a big long list, as we do every year, for the Appalachia Service Project, which is organized annually by the Presbyterian Church of Pleasantville. Is Gail here? There she is. It was a silly question. Of course you were here. You're always here.
Thank you. And Mr. Mayor and the Village Board, you're always here too. As I was looking forward to this evening, what occurred to me was every year, year after year, this village hosts this wonderful recognition event. It says some fantastic things about the village of Pleasantville, that it cherishes volunteerism, and it champions our youth, and it recognizes them for using volunteerism as a way to make this world a better place. So I want to thank you all for making this night possible for us. To those of you who may be watching this on TV, this room is filled to capacity, standing room only. And for a small village to have this many youth who are this involved, I think is really extraordinary. We couldn't do it without the support of the village, of the local schools, the local businessmen, the Rotary Club that supports us every year, and as well as the churches and synagogues, and a special shout out to the Pleasantville Presbyterian Church, which has been overseeing this since 1999. During that time, during those intervening years, we've sent some 200 Pleasantville youths to Central Appalachia to make homes warmer, safer, and drier. In Appalachia, there's a nonprofit organization called the Appalachia Service Project, and they want people to make homes warmer and safer and drier for people who live below the poverty line. We go down there as a bunch of volunteers to do that work, and in the process we're transformed and we're empowered to help others. When we're down in Appalachia, it's a really different part of this country. Just this past June, there was the third worst flood in West Virginia's recorded history. 1,000 people were made homeless by that flood. This is also an area of the country that has been known for many years as the home of the center of coal mining for our country. The coal mining industry has always been a difficult industry. It's harder than ever for the people of West Virginia. The county where we did most of our work this past July was McDowell County. 50 years ago, 100,000 people lived in that county. Last year, 22,000 people lived there. Why? Jobs dried up, opportunity dried up, and the people who were able to go have left. The people who can't go, the people who are stuck, the people who are too poor to move or who are disabled remain there. The life expectancy in that county is more than 15 years lower than the national average. McDowell County has the lowest life expectancy, 63 years, of any county in the United States. These are the conditions that we face when we go there. 49 volunteers this year, including 33 youths, went to McDowell County and surrounding areas in West Virginia, and for a week we repaired and rebuilt 8 homes, from roofs to floors to ceilings to drainage to front porches. We made a significant difference in people's homes. It is about doing repair work. It isn't just about learning carpentry, although I must say that part of it is really fun. A lot of it is about repairing lives. Sometimes the families who we meet up with have a family member in prison or in terrible health, or the house is just really rotting. And more than ever this year, what really struck me was the kinds of mindsets that can well up in people who live in such circumstances. They have different mindsets from what we have here because the opportunity is so not there for them. And this year I was particularly proud of our youths, not only for the backbreaking labor that they put in, but for the special grace that they showed to the homeowners and helped to transform kids and adults who otherwise are just really stuck. I'm incredibly honored and privileged to serve our community and our kids, who will always remain my inspiration. And I want to thank you again for giving us this chance this evening to recognize these kids. Thank you.
So well said. No surprise there from Gail. Gail, as a prime mover behind this and a proxy for all the adults who have helped over the years, really extraordinary stuff. We're pleased to honor Garrick Hoadley. Devin Juros. Who you will hear from again. Thank you, sir. Sophia Tomei. Logan Bronkema. Jack Cooper. Lisa Gulata. Anna Grace Mockler. Kate Puglia. Sophie Rapley. Katie Schaub. Ben Trombetta. Philippe Yahya. Sydney Schulman. Harrison Waxler. Kelly Allen. You made it. John Geyer. Joey Trudeau. And J.C. Yahya. In the last couple of years, some incredible stuff has been growing and blooming at the community garden at St. John's, and we're pleased to honor a number of people who've been involved with that tonight. Can I invite someone to chat about all that goes on there?
The Pleasantville Community Garden is a local volunteer organization. We collect and grow fresh produce that we donate to local food pantries. Hunger is really important issue all across Westchester, and thousands upon thousands of people are affected by this, and it affects every day of their life. So I think it's our duty as individuals and as a community to do what we can to improve their life and make it any amount better. I think we've had a great year at the Pleasantville Community Garden. We've been able to work with St. John's Church, the Farmers Market, and the Pleasantville Middle School and High School, the gardens at those schools, to bring even more produce to the people that really need it. We've donated over 14,000 pounds for this year of fresh produce, and we've had a lot of great active volunteers that have made it possible. We're honoring 3 volunteers who have really stood out and become involved in the organization itself and managing the organization. The first volunteer that we'd like to call up is Isabel Gray. Isabel has worked with us for over a year. She's on our board of directors, has worked with the school to get more people involved, more kids involved, and get more volunteers for the garden. So we really thank her for all she's done. Our next volunteer is Mia Dillon. Mia coordinates our efforts with the farmers market to make sure we have volunteers every week to collect all the produce. She's gotten more kids involved, more kid volunteers, and she really makes it happen so that we can work with the farmers market. We'd also like to call up Sam Lord. Sam has been involved in the Pleasantville Community Garden since its launch, helping out at different events we had, fundraising, everything. And he now helps coordinate with the school gardens at the high school and middle school. So he's really put a lot into the garden, and we thank him for that. Thank you. We'd also like to thank Alex DeVito. Alex helps volunteer at the farmers market. He's come basically every week for the last couple of years. He's been there every week. He lugs all of the heavy vegetables, all the crates. So he's really been devoted to the project, so we thank him.
You want to stay up because we have a list of things going on here. The St. John's has been a hotbed of activity with so many kids involved, and I am pleased to honor Charles Sturgis for the service trip to Ecuador. Can't blame you for that. He went to Quito, Ecuador for 12 days this June, providing education and skills to moms and dads so they can learn skills to help support their families. We have 3 people honored from St. John's who have served as soccer coaches for special needs kids, spending at least 2 hours a week to help coach soccer teams comprised of special needs kids from our community. And they are Heather Johnson, there you are. Maybe Devin should just stay up here. Devin Juros. And Carly Vavalitsa. You want to talk about the walkway under the cloister?
Yes.
Please do.
Since Gregory's not here.
All right.
Gregory May, who is the young volunteer firefighter who's not here, perhaps he's out on the call you referenced, I don't know. If any of you have been paying any attention as you rode up and down Bedford Road this summer, you've noticed a lot of scaffolding around St. John's. We have been restoring all the stonework, and one of the first pieces of that puzzle was put together by Gregory May as an Eagle Scout project when he rebuilt our cloister walkway. So as you are on Sunnyside looking at St. John's, there's those lovely arches and all that pavement that's under there. And he and his scout friends rebuilt that entire thing. They took out all the old stuff, they put in new item 4, dug it down, repitched it, redrained it, and they just did a fabulous job. So they were kind of the kickoff to some of the restoration work that we've been doing at St. John's.
Thank you so much for being here. Want to talk about the Midnight Run? And last but not least, in the flurry of activity at St. John's is the Midnight Run program.
I think everyone here is familiar with the Midnight Run. I would have to say that having the garden at St. John's has prompted us all to become increasingly aware of food insecurity in our community in Westchester County. And as the volunteers grew for that, as the mission grew behind getting food to people who need it, our contributions to the food pantry grew, and our involvement in the Midnight Run grew. So on any given Saturday afternoon, at least 5 times a year, you will find a group of people at St. John's sorting clothing, mountains of clothing, and making chili, making coffee, making sandwiches, packing lunch bags, boiling eggs, and getting all of the lunch bags ready so that everything can be taken down to New York and dropped off by the vans later in the evening. And a number of our young people have become very active in that, serving repeatedly over the several years. Many of them also became involved in ASP as a result, more involved in the garden as a result, or the food pantry as a result. We went to A-Home and started working on some of their gardens with this same group of young people. So the Midnight Run is but a tip of the iceberg for these young people and the way they have become more involved in food issues in our county.
It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure to honor Ellen Ferranto. Nice to see you all. I've been sitting on the curb waiting for the bus. Olivia Ashton. Garrick Hoadley. Devin Juros. I think we're past the hat trick here now. Wasn't this 4? Eric Johnson. Christopher May. Fiona Promisel. Michael Promisel. And not far behind, William Promisel. Special shout out to the Promisel parents who are clearly doing something right. And Carly Vavalitsa. The folks at the Presbyterian Youth Group have a bunch of great programs. Would someone like to speak about those? That leaves it to me, which I'm happy to do. The youth group at the Presbyterian Church is involved in several kinds of activities. They fundraise, they purchase, wrap, and ship gifts for a family in Central Appalachia. They prepare meals for church members, send care packages and cards to college students, seniors, and inmates. And in the past, they've planted and cared for a garden on site and have also donated the harvest and developed a relationship with Neighbors Link in Mount Kisco. On behalf of the youth group, we're pleased to honor Dylan Brockema. And Logan Brockema. Jack Geyer. Ryan McCarthy. Kamel Ruano. Sydney Schulman. I know Catherine Stargiotti is here. Carter Tanis. And Ben Trombetta. As is the case every year, it's a really, really fat stack for the Holy Innocents Youth Group.
MK, you here? Come on up. This is Mary Kate Crow. She's our president of our youth group. And we have a large youth group. The stack is just our seniors, all right? Because at least I know that they did a lot of service because they've been with me usually, 4 years by the time they become seniors, I recently challenged Mary Kate in a group, right? It's true, it's true. Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything. I asked Mary Kate to just prepare a few words and stuff. And I hear everybody else speak so eloquently and so impressively about the young people. Sometimes I challenge my youth group. Sometimes I have high expectations. So if they're not living up to my expectations, we have events every weekend. We're doing something every weekend. We believe in service and social justice. That's what we're based in. And so I won't use the words that I use, but Mary Kay was there and being the president and another officer, and I said, I displayed my disappointment. And she says, all right, Mr. Kennedy, next meeting, do you mind if we speak to the group without you? I said, sure. And that happens every once in a while. They take charge. It's their group. The group is only as good or as strong as they are. And we had an upcoming event, was this Sunday, which was yesterday, the breakfast run. So I let them go with it. Breakfast run, we asked for the biggest run in Manhattan. There's 100 homeless people that show up. We have to have the food. We have to be prepared, but we've done dozens and dozens of these runs, so we're good at it, but we have to have the items. So it's hard for me as an adult to step back and just say, all right, go ahead, And especially we got to be ready. All the kids are there at 6:45 in the morning. We have to load the cars and be on our way at 7 a.m. to set up at 8 a.m. in the city. And I had a couple of my youth group teenagers texting me they have to cook stratas, you know, and it may be the first strata they ever cooked. And they're texting me for a recipe, 7:30 Saturday night, and they're in the supermarket shopping. But that's what teenagers do. I mean, they have such confidence that they can get it done, and even if it's, you know, they just think the next event, the next thing. These kids in Pleasantville are so busy. So I always prepare. I'm a retired fireman and stuff. So the motto is always you can't have too much food, but you certainly can have too little, and especially if you're feeding homeless people, you can't be light. So I came in early, and a couple of other youth group members came in. You know, they were cooking their stratas, you know, 5 a.m. in the morning with me. So I started making some pancakes and sausage and adding on and stuff. And they all came through. I covered them with extra stuff. I had pizza and I had, you know, pancakes and sausage that I prepared, and they had all of this stuff, like they always do. You know, and the beneficiary were the people that we served down in Manhattan, because it was a great breakfast run. All right, and so I have to publicly say, you know, I love my youth group. You guys are great. You are terrific. I know your lives are busy and a lot of challenges, especially for the seniors, and there's too much pressure put on them. So I don't want to overdo it, but I do. I see the light in them, I see hope in them, I see competence, capability, I see love, I see everything that's the best of all of us here in Pleasantville, all right? And with that, this is Mary Kate.
So first off, I just want to thank Tom Conity, because without him, we wouldn't be able to do any of what we do, and he really is our fearless leader. Thank you. I just really quickly want to tell you what we do in youth group. We are a community of high school students dedicated to volunteer work in Pleasantville and beyond. Our group regularly organizes visits to students at the cottage school and breakfast runs to feed New York City's homeless, as Mr. Conity was just talking about. And in addition, every 2 years we travel to a different town in the United States for a mission trip, working with the area's poor and disenfranchised. Most recently, we visited Wetumpka, Alabama. And we provide free childcare, we paint homes, and we visit the elderly at nursing homes. And our group is just a really strong unit of teenagers working to make the world a better place in whichever ways that we can.
Thank you, Mary Kate. Thank you, Tom, for that really beautiful description of what you do. And thank you for volunteering to text recipes at will. We are proud to honor Ian Eslicker. Ryan Drillick. Carlos De Jesus. Caroline Kovach. Christy Guttridge. Caitlin O'Neill. Mary Kate Crow, already mentioned. Stay here, why don't you? Isabel Gray. James Grob. Bridget Benani. Ali Fama. On behalf of
On behalf of Alexandra Fama, she's homesick.
Matt Rule. Liam Perrine. Riley Kennedy. Ashling Mooney. Lauren Schmidt. Carolyn Meany. And last but certainly not least is the Holy Innocents Education Program. Would someone like to speak about that?
Thank you. My name is Maria Lamagisi, and I'm the new director of the Religious Education Program at Holy Innocents. It's an honor and a privilege to be here this evening to recognize, acknowledge, and thank our young adults who have very eagerly given their time and their service to our parish and the community as a whole. I have to tell you, I have been in religious education for 35 years. And never have I been blessed, and remember, I'm only here since September, but never have I been blessed with such great high school volunteers that are so proud of their faith, who are so eager to step up to the plate and share their faith with the youngsters of our religious education program. My message to you this evening comes from sacred scripture. Do not let anyone look down upon you because you're young, but be an example in your speech, your conduct, your love, your faith, and your purity. So in other words, continue to do what you do because you do it so beautifully. Thank you.
We are pleased to honor Julia Ware. Jack Fitzgerald. Daisy Hara. Ashlyn Lean. Zachary Palmieri. Aiden Roney. And Joseph Trudeau. That concludes our list, an impressive list as always, and it reminds me, as we were reminded by so many of the speakers, that you have to earn this name Pleasantville every day, and all of you young people are in the lead in doing that. So many great stories, so many great people helping with so many different projects. We're blessed in this community to have plenty of advantages as well as some problems. All of you are out there trying to keep this place the great place it is, to assist with those in circumstances that need help, and as we've heard from so many, frequently leaving the friendly confines of Pleasantville, New York, to spread that goodwill elsewhere. So you are the best ambassadors of your generation and of your community, and we are proud and pleased to honor you. Thank you. So we'll take a brief break to allow you to escape before we have a public hearing on parking rules.
Mayor, they could use a stairwell too if they want.
We're back after a brief break for the students and parents to depart after our Youth Recognition Night. Again, congratulations to everybody and to all the fine organizations they represent. Now back to the more mundane activities of the board. I had a few announcements to make, one of which was, as reported earlier, the community sing-along and lighting ceremony at the Tree Island at Manville Road near Great Oak Lane is this coming Wednesday, November 30 at 7 p.m. sharp. All are welcome to come. It's sponsored by the Fancher Nickel American Legion Post number 77, Pace University, the Chamber of Commerce, and the Village of Pleasantville. Hot chocolate and candy canes will be served. So 7 o'clock on Wednesday. Also, a shout out to the community garden. You heard from those folks tonight honoring a number of their students who were involved. They had an event where a whole bunch of people went to Hilltop Hanover Farm and collected remaining produce before the frost, and about 50 people came and they collected more than 1,100 pounds of vegetables that were then donated to Hillside Food Outreach, A-Home, and the Pleasantville Interfaith Emergency Food Pantry. So great stuff going on there. pvillegarden.org is the place to get yourself to find out more. Farm Market was closed this weekend for Thanksgiving weekend and opens this coming Saturday, December 3, is that, I think? In the Pleasantville Middle School for the winter market. So the farm market will be back up and running. We've had some on-again, off-again reports about the reinstitution of the Sawmill River Parkway detour. I thought I was going to tell you it was happening this week, and lately we hear that it isn't. So we don't have any report on the rescheduling, do we, Patty?
We just got a late email this evening saying that tomorrow's detour was postponed. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. And this has been going on for the last week and a half. I think
Right.
they just have some coordination issues. So it's imminent, but I don't know when.
All right, and then lastly, I just wanted to
Yeah.
a shout out to the Mount Pleasant Public Library, www.mountpleasantlibrary.org. Encourage everybody to sign up, not only to get a membership card, but to be on their email list. They have all kinds of stuff going on, and you can subscribe to media newsletters that are delivered daily, weekly, or monthly, and get book, audio, and DVD recommendations sent to you directly. So mountpleasantlibrary.org, not only to hear about that, but the zillions of other good things that are going on there. Others have announcements?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, sure.
So Pleasantville Strong has their monthly coalition meeting. It's Wednesday, November 30th at 7 o'clock at the high school. We encourage new members to come. We also invite you to join our Facebook page. We have a wonderful website, pleasantvillestrong.org. On December 7th, we're having a parent forum. It's a holiday wellness and give back fair. It's targeted at our middle school, and they're also going to be collecting donations for Hope's Door. So there'll be some wellness activities and tips, and I think really targeted for middle school, but also to help Hope's Door, which is a domestic violence shelter located here in Pleasantville. So we invite everyone to attend.
Great. Thank you for that. Anybody else? So then the last thing I wanted to be sure to remind everybody is we're in the midst of an update of the Pleasantville Comprehensive Plan, our master plan project that you've heard about quite a bit in the past. We had a public hearing last Monday and closed that public hearing, but kept the written record open for another 2 weeks. So the written record, if you're interested in making a comment that you would like to be sure the board considers before the final edits are added to the master plan and it's ultimately proposed for adoption, you can do so by sending an email to Patty Dwyer, Judy Weintraub, or to masterplan@pleasantville-ny.gov. So that written record is open until Monday, December 5. After that, we envision that we'll be working through the comments we received, not only at the public hearing, but also through email. We'll be having a work session with the folks at BFJ Planning, who are the planning consultants we worked with on the project, at our meeting on Monday, December 12. And thereafter, envision that the document, having made its requisite trips to the various agencies that need to comment, will probably be finalized and be ready for a board vote sometime in January. So I encourage anybody who's interested in this subject to engage any one of us or to check in at pleasantville-ny.gov, where not only the current version of the draft is available in PDF form, but a whole lot of other stuff, including documentation about the workshops we had with the community that led up to it, and master plans from the past. So pleasantville-ny.gov. Again, the formal written record will be closed in a week on December 5. Is there a motion to open a public hearing on local law amending Chapter 173 Vehicles and Traffic, Section 173-65, no standing certain hours, and Section 173-66, time limit parking on Academy Street?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Public hearing is open. Patty, you want to describe the lay of the land here?
Yeah, a little over a month ago, we enacted a local law creating an additional handicap parking space on Academy Street. And when we had done that, it actually affected two other sections of the code with respect to parking regulations on Academy Street. So to make room for that handicap space, we had to adjust these other two sections, one being no standing, the other being a time-limited parking, both on the west side and both for a certain distance from Bedford Road heading north toward down the street for a certain length of distance. So what we're asking to be done here is that we add on Academy Street no standing during certain hours on the west side from a point 56 feet north of Bedford Road to a point 204 feet north of Bedford Road. That creates that additional space. And also to push the time-limited parking in the same location, setting certain times of days where there's only 5-minute parking permitted, to extend that length of rule and regulation along Academy Street. That's as simple as it gets.
Okay. Is there any comment from the public or via call-in at 769-1677? Any comments or questions from the board?
I just wanted to add that you had mentioned that we were requested to add an additional handicap parking, and that came from the school. We just didn't do this because
That's correct. It
of no
actually,
reason.
It actually germinated from a couple of residents
Yes.
that had some concerns with
Yes.
circulating around looking for space,
Yeah.
and then I'd spoken with the superintendent. She had taken that request to her safety committee, and they came back with a
Right.
recommendation for the board. Correct. Thank you.
All right. If there are no further comments, is there a motion to close the public
So
hearing?
moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. We're now out of the public hearing, and as you will see shortly, we have a resolution to enact the proposal that was just described. How about number 193, Steve?
Resolved that pre-check register dated November 28th, 2016, covering check numbers 84928 through 85046 has been reviewed, and they are hereby approved as listed below from the general fund, the special purpose fund, the water fund, the capital fund, the refuse fund, and the trust and agency fund, a total of $1,676,696.91. And I just wanted to add 1.3 million of that is from the general fund, and 1.1 million of that is roughly 1.1 million is the annual contributions to our employee and police and fire pension funds. So, just
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you for that, pointing that out.
Sure.
We do not spend
Right. It's a little
1.7 million
higher
every
than
2 weeks. Thank God. But
Be a problem.
it's a high number for precisely the reason that Steve just mentioned. So any comments or questions on the check register?
I have a comment with respect to an inquiry that was made about the contract for leaf removal.
Yes.
That's an annual contract we have, and we go out for quotes for that. That is to basically remove all of last year's leaves so we can put this year's leaves in place. So it's just one fee, one time.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that clarification. All in favor of the check register? Aye. Motion approved. 194, Mindy.
This is in regards to the public hearing that we just opened and closed. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves a local law amending Chapter 173, Vehicle and Traffic, Section 173-65, no standing certain hours, and Section 173-66, time limit parking, Academy Street as follows. On the west side of Academy Street, we're deleting hours 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., Monday through Friday, except holidays, from the point 56 feet north of Bedford Road to a point 244 feet north of Bedford Road. And we're adding that in the same location, that the time be 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, except holidays. That remains the same from point 56 feet north of Bedford Road to point 204 feet north of Bedford Road.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Not likely since.
You have more to read.
There's more to read here.
Yeah, I think it's just, you're doing each section, you're doing each change. That was for no standing, and now we're doing time limit. You wanted to vote on them separately?
No,
Oh.
Is it the same motion?
it's one
Same
motion.
result?
All right, so then I have to read that.
Yes.
173-66, time limit parking on Academy Street is, on the west side, is 5 minutes, 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. to 8 a.m. Monday through Friday, from point 56 feet north of Bedford Road to a point 244 feet north of Bedford Road. And we're adding the same time, but it will be from point 56 feet north of Bedford Road to a point 204 feet north of Bedford Road.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
A re-second, yeah.
You re-second it?
Re-second.
Oh, Steve reseconded.
That's
Second,
not, that's
second.
not
Joe can
a,
second
a
myself.
re-second is not a
He
third,
second,
right? Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. Colleen, 195.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees authorizes the village clerk to advertise for a competitive bid for the purchase and installation of security cameras for various locations throughout the village.
Is there a second?
Second.
Patty, you want to describe?
Yeah, we have some CCTV systems here at Village Hall. We have some throughout the plaza, a few on the exterior of the building. Our system is quite dated and has lots of issues. Some cameras are black and white, some are analog. We're now in a digital world with some great capabilities that we can import for a lot less money it would take to retrofit the camera system that we have. So we're looking to overhaul the system. We've had several vendors in. We've got an idea of where we're going to be, I think, looking in terms of price, probably somewhere around $50,000 to do this right. So we would like to get this project at least lined up in the current year. We've had some technical problems with our system, and we really need to upgrade it.
Well, and this is also something we've been talking about for 2 years, that we kept saying we
Right.
were going to do it, so.
We had some
Definitely.
discussions during the budget process with the chief at the time,
Yep,
but, you know,
that's right.
we had to set those aside until we reorganized the
That's right.
police department,
You're doing it the right way.
And Lieutenant Woolman has taken on this.
he's done a great
mission.
job
Right.
meeting with the vendors and scoping out, you know, the specifications and looking at products. We've had a couple of demonstrations. The technology is impressive, as you could imagine.
And this is all replacement of existing.
And adding a
Hardware?
few more in the Village
We
Hall
will add a
building, and
few? Okay.
stairwells where we don't have them right now, places where we feel vulnerable with, you know,
In Village Hall.
security. Yes.
Are we considering adding any new ones to any public spaces?
No. We're enhancing what we have, though. We'll have some greater range with what we have.
If
out
Right,
we're
there are
already
some
at it,
upgrades to what we
Should
have.
we look at expanding the coverage if we're already putting an order in? Because we've talked in the past
I
about.
think the police department's comfortable with the span of control they have now with CCTV
They
cameras.
would like to have some better control over
Yeah,
individual
I think there
cameras
are
and
just
also
certain
better
areas that
quality
they-
of images.
What they want to see, we do see already. I think all the areas that we wanted to cover, we pretty much have under our system.
Okay.
All right, all in favor of the authorization to bid?
Aye.
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 Motion approved. 196, Joe.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the following budget amendment to fund over budget accounts $15,000 from general fund contingent to engineering contractual.
And there was an amended
Amendment.
piece. There's a second piece there.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry, pardon me, let me get to it. Pardon me. And to appropriate fund balance from general fund $55,000 for account to fund judgments and claims, tax certiorari, Greenwood condominium.
Is there a second?
Second.
Just a typographical message, general fund contingent in that first entry. How do you want to describe?
With respect to the engineering, we have several surveys that we'd asked to be performed by Merits, in particular Tompkins Avenue, Vermilion, and Clinton Street. We have lots of issues there with defining the public right-of-way and trying to understand where our streets rights-of-way actually lay and where parking should be permitted and how we can better address those streets. So those surveys were not part of our original budget, so I needed some money transferred for those. And also, we have settled a long-standing certiorari with Greenwood Condominium based on our advice of counsel. We feel that this is an appropriate settlement and, fair for the village. So.
Do you know offhand how far back that goes? How many years?
Yeah, I do actually. Let me take a quick look for you.
It was in our packet last week,
Yeah, we already
2 weeks ago.
But I don't remember.
We already.
we approved it.
No,
This
I
is just
understand.
the
No,
amendment
I'm
to pay it.
I just don't remember, and now we're funding
Yeah, you
it.
know what, he's not, I don't have it on the current list of cert exposures.
All
I
right.
think it's 6 years.
Okay, it went back a number of years,
Yes.
not just like 1 year of.
No, it was aged, it was fairly old.
No, I remember
It
approving
may
it. I
even
just
be
couldn't
8
remember that
years, but
information.
it's in that range.
Okay.
All right. Any further comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved.
197, Steve.
197, Steve, the minutes.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees has reviewed the minutes of the meeting held on Monday, November 14th, 2016, and they are hereby approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Comments or corrections to the minutes?
No, but I will say that, Judy, all the resolutions already have Steve Lord seconding it and,
No, I'm motioning.
or I'm making the
Yeah, no,
motion
you're
and
up.
I'm seconding it, so you may want to change that,
It's stuck on the button,
unless, yeah.
That's what you're doing, a cut and paste.
Yeah, exactly.
Really fast before the holiday.
Or Steve and I are that
We
good.
just motion every motion we
I
have.
just assumed that last one was gonna be moved as.
Right, exactly, so there you go.
So that one was right.
So approval of the minutes subject to that review and correction. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. That's the last of our regular resolutions. Congratulations again to all of the young people we were so pleased to honor tonight. Happy night for the Village of Pleasantville, as it is every year at this time. Really a great turnout and well-deserved. So
And we get to honor our volunteers, or adult volunteers, next Monday, isn't that right?
we do at Volunteers in Pleasantville dinner. So is there a motion to go into executive session on upcoming CSEA negotiations, our certiorari update report, and I add to what had been in our original list, matters of real estate?
So moved.
Second? Somebody?
Second.
Second? See, it's the tag team. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all. Good night. We're headed off to executive session.